The residents of Springfield, Ohio are living in a nightmare, a living nightmare. 1 out of 4 occupants in their very small town are Haitian. You're talking about an influx so strong, so different, and a community that was already from check to check, that the city services were basically making ends meet. Like you, I have been checking this thing out for a while, and it's time to talk about on this channel. I have said and I have predicted America is going through a transformation. Look at it and look very hard, because it is coming to your town if we don't stand up. I got those who disagree. Pearson, Trump is the 100% answer. Look, I get it. I understand the frustration. The only reason I'm going with him, like I said before, let's just keep it real. He's the best of the two evils. But you stand tall like Moses. Stand tall like Moses, people. Stand tall like Moses. Put salvation on the ballot. Put Jesus first. Turn from your wicked ways. Call upon him. Fast and pray. Pearson's not your problem. I'm sent here to tell you what the problem is. The problem is, before you, we have serpent children. That's what we got. We got serpent children. They're running both parties. And you go before Donald Trump, if and when he gets up in there, or you go before Kamala Harris, when she gets up in there, and you demand, in the name of Jesus, the most powerful name under the heavens. He has sacrificed his blood. He has laid down his life. He is victorious. And you and I can be victorious and endure to the end. That's all it's about. There is a possibility, that Donald Trump will get back up in there. There's a possibility. And I just did a video. I've been trying to explain that the last couple of weeks. I got people saying Pearson, a real man would pray for him. Suppose he's a snake. Suppose he's a literal serpent children. You're entitled to believe what you want to believe. I don't have $1 million and $1 billion enterprise to present Donald Trump to you over and over again to tell you what he's really about. But what I do have is a spirit of discernment, and I do know the times. If you don't have the spirit of discernment, you will never see what I see. It doesn't make you a bad person. You just don't see it. That's why many are called, but few are chosen. It is what it is. I'm not saying I'm all that. It's the gift that I have. If you lift weights for 30 and 40 years, you get good at what you do. I've been doing this for 30 or 40 years. I know a serpent child when I see one. Read between the lines. God gives different gifts to different people. We just see it different. And we go on. But I've been predicting this. How was I able to predict it? Because I understand the agenda. I understand what a serpent child would do. They're not going to outright and tell you. They all got their different things they're going to show you. Going to play good cop, bad cop. Then some are going to be blunt. Oh, guess what? You're not going to own nothing, but you're going to be happy. And what do you think Ohio, Springfield, Ohio is headed? At some point, the budget will be bloated so much, they'll come in and they'll make it a what? A socialistic town where the government will pass out money to everybody just to make it work, or it will go into a depression. Understand what I'm saying? Understand what I'm predicting. Small towns now Medium towns next, big towns later. It will all implode. It will Pac-Man. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Start getting on your bended knees and fighting this spirit? Prayer warriors prayer? Or you're going to keep on coming after me saying I'm not man enough and I should be praying for I'm not praying for the devil. I'm fighting him.
It is so unsafe in my neighborhood anymore. I have the homeless that were trying to camp out, and I have made concessions with them, and I try to help them the best I can to keep them from trying to squat on my property. But it is so unsafe. I have men that cannot speak English in my front yard screaming at me, throwing mattresses in my front yard, throwing trash in my front yard, and I can't. Look at me, I weigh 95 pounds. I couldn't defend myself if I had to. My husband is elderly, and last night, after living in this home for 45 years, he said, Noelle, guess what? It's time to pack up and move. He said, we can't do this anymore. He said, it's killing both of us mentally. I don't understand what you expect of us as citizens. I mean, I understand they're here under temporary protected status, and you're protecting them, and I understand that our city services are overwhelmed and understaffed, but who's protecting us? If we're protecting them, who's protecting me?
Who's protecting me? The same white woman that America taught me to hate as a black man. Look at her now. We gotta pray. Because some of us has preyed on each other. They taught me to hate her. Not all. But the mass media show jumped on it. And then the role was reversed. They told whites to hate me. Now look at us. We all in the same coop. We've been had as Americans. I'm sounding out the alarm. I'm praying for the people who need help. I'm not praying for those devilish leaders. I see through them. Wake up, America. Your country has been taken over. The only way this thing works is that they have an opponent. They have to have a Donald Trump and a Biden to fight over each other. But they're one and the same. And until we realize who the enemy is, watch my past videos, put it together. It's about Pharaoh. No matter who gets up in there, they're both working for the same dark entity. Because they're an entity, allegedly. This thing is so dark. Some of you all will close your eyes for the last time and you won't get the revelation until you make it to glory. But God needs some soldiers, just at least to pray. You go to the rallies, you praying against that spirit. You smile in his face just like he smiled at yours. They were just together, Elon Musk and Trump a month ago. Billionaires crying over an 81-year-old man talking about Joe Biden ain't doing nothing. When collectively, with their money, they could solve the border crisis tomorrow with other millionaires. What are they doing? They're just complaining. A real leader is making it happen. They're not campaigning, they're changing the climate. Use your head, Christian warrior. All they do is talk. Don't get confused about what I'm doing. Yeah, Trump whooped her butt, that is Kamala, at the debate. Yeah, he did it. And I'm pushing him. I'm pushing him. I'm supposed to be on the side that makes sense, even though I know it's dark. I'm pushing it. If I don't push it, then they don't think I'm serious. If I don't push it, they don't know I'm here. I know the freight train is coming. I'm here to slow it down. The Bible says endure. A real man would pray for him. I'm not praying for a devil. Look at this lady. Look at what she's going through. That's what Satan wants. He wants us fighting each other on a daily basis because we can't understand who to fight against. We sad. We are sad. And guess what? They're not. They're not. Because they're in agreement. And that's what the Bible calls us to do. Where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I will be in the midst. That's in agreement. Keep preaching. Listen to this lady.
Living in a dystopian nightmare, you hope you wake up and it's 2019 again, and then you realize it's 2024, and it's the same thing over and over again, day after day. It's hard sometimes to get up in the morning and hear residents that I've known for years struggle. This is a paycheck to paycheck kind of town, working class, and the citizens that depend on our social services, like healthcare, a rocking horse, going down to the Social Security office for benefits, are waiting in line, and they're not getting the services they need. And it breaks my heart to see people that I taught and their children experiencing this. So I took it upon myself to make sure that I showed up at every city commission meeting pleading our case. And if it took something like this to get the spotlight flashed on it.
I just want to put this out here. I just want y'all to see how bad it is. Everything I predicted is coming to pass. The devil is moving gradually. And this plan was years in advance. You know how sophisticated an operation this thing is? To bring this many people over in a short period of time, gradually. And they target the small towns. You Pac-Man it. You eat away and nibble at the legs. You cut off the veins, the circuitry. You cut off the lights, make it dark. You infiltrate the government of Ohio. That's what you do. Being that brother's keeper and turning the other cheek. Ain't time for that, baby. It ain't time to be praying like that. No, you're dealing with serpent children. Serpent children. This is not normal. This is the takeover of the United States of America. We're in the final phase, and Jesus is coming.
The schools, everything.
Citizens of Springfield arrived at City Hall before its regularly scheduled meeting to protest what they're calling a mismanagement of the city's resources. Despite the city's request for federal aid, some residents say there needs to be more change. Protesters sported signs and American flags that they brought into the meeting. Some were upset with Springfield Mayor Rob Rue and called for his resignation during the council meeting.
I think you should be removed just for that immediately.
Residents voiced concerns about available housing, especially with the homeless. Others aired their grievances about the strain that public services are starting to feel due to that population influx, but are hopeful for a better future.
Having thousands of new immigrant neighbors move into our city during the past few years has been stressful and overwhelming, but I am hopeful for a shared future with them.
I also spoke with the leader of the Haitian Community Support Center, who also attended.
Crazy, I ain't trying to hear that. Now here's Glenn Beck. He's got a correspondent over there. This video was put up 19 hours ago. And Julio Rosas, let me set this up for you. He's been over there. He's watched what I just showed you. He's watched it. The landlords over there, they're doing just like the landlords here in Chicago. They're not renewing the leases. A lot of the American landlords are not renewing the leases of Americans. Why? If you got a 4-room house, for example, they're not going to renew it because they want to get the Haitians up in there. and they want to put all the beds up in there and forget about the licensing and the code of what city code is, break that law, and bring up to 15 beds up in there, charging $200 a bed. Wrap your mind around the transition, what's going on in America. The American landlord is making money hand over fist at the cost of you and me. I want you to realize what a takeover looked like. Understand. Understand what it looks like. We don't fight against flesh and blood. And yes, the love of money, baby, the root of all evil, it's the function of it and who's behind it. You dirty landlords, you dirty, gutless, vile, disdained landlords around America, you would take this blood money and kick your own people out, your own tenants you grew up with, your family went to school with, and you kick them out for the sake of $1. You're too dumb enough to realize in a couple of years you won't even have a house or a land to rent because it's going to be taken over. This is how dumb we've become. You're taking the bait. Listen to this. Oh, I'm going to go off today. Got to go off to wake people up. I ain't getting no views no way. What does it matter? It don't matter to me no more. I don't care. Maybe that's what God wanted to be. I don't care no more. I'm tired. All the work I do every day. 2,000 to 3,000 views. That's crap. Gotta start getting angry. Gotta start getting mad. Maybe somebody would share the video. Oh, welcome to Friend Shot Blue. I'm your host, Friend Shot Pearson. Please share the video. Let people know we're going through a takeover. Maybe that's not going to get it. Maybe I got to show you what the takeover looked like so you can start praying and sharing this thing. Then your friends can share it. Because the other YouTubers, the majority of them, they ain't going to tell you the truth. They're not going to tell you the truth. You don't have 100 YouTubers out here doing what I do. We're rare. We love America. We're trying to break it down. We're not going to always get it right. But at least we for real. We keep it at 100.
Towards women. And you know, that was just one person, but there's a lot of, you know, yes, the pet issue is one thing, but even on the housing alone, what's been happening is that landlords have, you know, you say you have a family of 4, the landlords don't renew their lease with them. And then they replace them with up to 15 Haitians. They're not even renting the house. They're renting beds. They're charging them, I've been told, $200 a week for just the bed. And it was explained to me that the bed never gets cold because there's just a constant rotation of people that use it for those 8 hours. Then they go to work and then they come back and it just starts all over again. So you put, you know, 2 sets of bunk beds in a room, that's 6 people, right?
That's the way it works in China.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the landlords are getting a lot more money from this, and the city isn't enforcing the fire codes. So because that's a fire hazard when you have that many people crammed into.
That means your government's been taken over. It's been infiltrated. They have been told what to do, and they are cooperating. These are spirits. Can you imagine how many generations it has taken to create a system within America? I broke it down to you guys. Ever since the founding of this country, I am convinced this takeover started then. America was never built for you as Americans. We got something out the deal because the Spirit of God was here. Hallelujah to that. But the reality is that Satan went to work just like he did in the Garden of Eden. He figured out governments. He figured out banking. He figured out the educational system, and he infiltrated it. with the bloodlines and the fallen angels, and he got them to create these societies. You know who they are. And that's what's behind it. Use your head. That's the only thing can make it work. You have to have some type of devotion towards something. And now that you've gotten something out of it, they expect something out of you, which is called an allegiance. And now it's time to pay up. And now you got all these commissioners, all these governors, all these mayors, all these institutions, all these financiers, all these media departments. They're all working at one accord. And those who aren't are being taken out bit by bit. The others are scared. I get it. I get the threats. So it's time to pray. I'm begging you, Christian. Pearson, why you so mad? You got to get mad. You got to scream. You better holler. You better tell people. You better wake them up. I ain't mad while I'm out of my mind. I'm just mad. You got to admit it's happening quicker than it ever did. We just left 2019. Now look at this. You think Springfield, Ohio is a mirage? It's coming. This devil is here. He's at the door. He got a beachhead. It's infiltration. And the politicians are looking the other way. And the strategy is by the good people. Oh, let's just see how we can work this out. There's nothing to work out. There's nothing to compromise on. They're coming to take us over. They don't want us here. They don't even want them here. The goal is to make you lay down your guard, your love for country, your patriotism, your commitment to duty. Lay it down. Don't stand up. They want to label you as racist, as going against color, people of color. That's how they hit us. The color, the sex, the age, all the wedge issues. What about what's good for the country? What about abiding by the law? It's against the law to bring people over without checks and balances. It's against the law. And like I said in my last video, go back and watch it. I dare you to go back and watch it. They're going to utilize this as the major excuse to take DJT out. And I told you it's going to be a puppet Trump. It's going to be a puppet. It's going to be a puppet. And then the Civil War happens. You think I like reporting this thing? You think I like seeing this thing? You think I like interpreting it the way it is? I wish we could go back to 1969, 1970, 1975. The air was even cleaner. You could smell freedom. What are you smelling now? Jesus got to be coming because the transformation is accelerating. They got us on every end. It's time to pray, Christians. It's time to pray. Include in that prayer, dear Lord, help me to endure. Give me the spirit of endurance. Teach me how to fight. It's crazy, people. I don't have all the answers. I'm just showing you what's going on. I predicted it. I predicted it in my friend Shot Pearson videos. I don't have that channel no more. I'm trying to get it back. But I'm telling y'all, I've been on this thing. They want a transformation. They want a one world system. And America's not included. No, we're not included. We have to be diluted to be included. That's the way it works. I apologize if y'all think I'm crazy. I ain't crazy. I'm just crying inside like many of you all. Many of you all get it. You just don't have the kind of voice I got. And I ain't hating on nobody else doing social media. I'm just saying, you're irresponsible if you're social media and you're not bringing this thing out the proper way. Stop all these dumb videos about who P. Diddy's sleeping with. Don't nobody want to hear that crap. Do some real journalistic work. Their country is at stake. This is how they're getting us. They got us watching everything else but the truth. The kind of stuff I'm putting out there, whether you agree with it or not, it should have 100,000 views. I should be up there and do correspondent work. But I need money to do it, to hire people to get it done. How do we endure? We got to back each other till it hurts. Till it hurts. Then maybe the Holy Spirit can look around like he did with Moses and like he did with Noah and say, you know what? Can I find at least one person honorable? We got to make Jesus come back. Yeah, we got to make him come back. We got to cry out and let him know we've had enough. That's just how I feel about it. You can disagree with me about 99.9% about what I do, my decodes and everything. But one thing you can't disagree with me on, you just saw a video. If it don't speak to you, I don't know what will. This is a takeover. If you don't understand it for what it is, sorry. If you don't understand that both parties have been taken over, it ain't nothing but an act. Trump is an act and Biden is an act. It's a joke. Just saw a latest video I just saw a few seconds ago. Where's that stupid video? Where was it? Let me see. Where was it at? I just saw something that was stupid. Here it is here. Just in, Joe Biden lambasted Trump for attacks on Haitians. See how stupid they are? You gotta have somebody to come against what you believe to make it work as they go down to create the one world system. But we're gonna push Trump because this is what he believes. Listen.
President, Springfield, Ohio is experiencing a migrant crisis. Will you
Yes.
do an event there to show the media what's actually happening, maybe a town hall?
Well, we could, and maybe we'll do that. Where are you from? It's good. Very good. They're doing a very good job. Yeah, it's very good. No, I will, maybe Springfield, maybe Aurora, maybe both. We'll go there. I can say this, we will do large deportations from Springfield, Ohio. Large deportations. We're going to get these people out. We're bringing them back to Venezuela. You know, he told Biden he's
going to gut them out. I don't know how long it's going to take, but trust me, the fact that he's saying it, they're coming after him. So it's going to take more than Trump. I'm putting it out there. These governors, these mayors, they got to think like this man is saying. They got to think like he's saying. And I pray I'm wrong that Kamala Harris will not be president of the United States. That she will only be there temporarily if and when Joe dies. So maybe 35, 40 days she'll be president, and then this man would take the helm. At least it's worth trying. Take them back to where they belong, period. Take them back. Our social services cannot handle it. Nowhere. We're going to be pushed into a socialistic system brought to you by Satan, the fallen angels, the bloodline, and these secret societies. I'm done.